Alright, everybody, let's talk Game of Thrones, Episode 5. Wow. And I'm not just wow. I have been waiting for Daenerys to snap for so long. This is the snap I was waiting for. Fuck Infinity Wars. This was the snap I wanted. And it was the snap I got. She went full Mad Queen. And I know there's lots of people online right now freaking out because she snapped. Dude, it's been coming. If you've been paying attention from the very beginning, this has been a long time coming. It was very apparent, very evident. If you paid close attention, you knew the snap was coming. Now, I agree that the snap was coming. I believe the writers held it off for the perfect moment. I'll give it that point. The writers definitely held it off. But the snap has been coming. It's been a long time coming. And she went full-blown Targaryen on all of their asses. Because if you really think about it, the Targaryens are nothing but bullies. They're fucking conquerors. That's all they are. That's all they ever were. And to think otherwise is ridiculous. Why do you think they were overthrown? They came into Westeros and conquered because they had dragons. If they didn't have dragons, they were nothing. They are nothing without their dragons. And if you're nothing without your dragons, then you're nothing with your dragons. So this is a long time coming. Now the question is she going to die, and who's going to kill her? I read like a meme online where it had like some little coincidences, maybe not, where it's like Ned Stark beheaded someone and he was beheaded. Olenna Tyrell poisoned Joffrey and she was poisoned. And all the other parts of all the different ways how Walder Frey was killed, the way he killed someone and the way he died with Catelyn and Robb and all the other side little murders and kills, and that Tywin was killed with a crossbow, so it means Tyrion's going to be killed with the crossbow. So if you play those out, Daenerys kills the dragon. Will she be killed by her dragon? So I'm interested to see how that comes out. My money is on Arya Stark killing her, but it could be Jon. I don't know. I really want it to be Arya. Arya has been my favorite, literally from day one. Just when she was messing with her brother with the bow and arrow, fucking tackling Joffrey. She's the badass. And watch Sansa be the one to sit on the Iron Throne. That's my predictions. Completely off base. Every prediction I've made so far has been off, completely wrong. They definitely are keeping us on our toes. Some other good points about the show. It was definitely fun. Not traumatic. I don't know the word I want to use. But watching Jon struggle when he saw Dany for who she really was, and him trying to keep control of the Northern men, and the way they just joined the Unsullied and Dothraki of just destroying the civilians. That was another thing I knew that was coming. Although, I did have another prediction. When Tyrion let Jaime go, he mentioned about how ringing the bells, this will tell everyone that the city is surrendering and the gates will open. I was thinking reverse Trojan horse. I was thinking Jaime was going to make it to Cersei in time to tell her this information, and then she would use it as a tactic. Open the gates, ring the bells, the Unsullied Dothraki, or whoever goes in first, they start to walk in. Those streets are narrow, easy kill box. You throw some archers on the roofs, you can just pelt the incoming army and just make a kill box at all the gate entrances. So I was thinking reverse Trojan horse on that. I was completely wrong. I was thinking Jaime was going to make it to Cersei in time. Nope, didn't happen. I didn't see Euron killing Jaime, because he really did. It was the killing blow. It wasn't the rocks. It was Euron. And I was really disappointed in the way that Cersei and Jaime died. I just really am disappointed that no one got the satisfaction to kill that woman. Whether it be Arya, Jon, Dany. But see, like, that was the thing that got me. So, the bells ring. Dany's perched on the tower. And she's sitting there staring, listening to the bells. And then if you watch that episode, she methodically goes street by street to the Red Keep, just wiping out the Lannister army, civilians, and probably her own people. And then she attacks the tower. That's what shows you the fucking crazy that's in her. Because she wasn't looking at soldiers or even just the military collateral damage. It happens, unfortunately, but it does. That was a conscious effort and a choice to do it that methodical. She could have flown over the surrendered Lannister army and just fucking taken out Cersei in her tower. Done. And the Lannister army could have been saved. I am curious if Ed Sheeran died. I need to know that. And so that just shows you the level of crazy that woman has. And I was impressed. It was good. It was also really good. I'm so glad that the writers... I'm not saying I'm a fan of... Well, not the writers, the showrunners. I'm not saying I'm a fan of everything that they've done this season. I'm not. But the little detail of the wildfire when she was taking out certain places, because it was... She did say that she had them in key spots throughout the city. So when they hit certain buildings, you'd see the wildfire go up and explode. So that was awesome that they paid attention to that detail and they remembered it. I was really impressed with that. I mean, it's not a small detail to forget, but it was still something that could have easily been overlooked in CGI. So I was really impressed by that. I think the showrunners or the writers or the CGI, whoever remembered that, I definitely thank them for that one. But, so, less than a week away for episode 6. A friend of mine said it was going to be more of an epilogue. I didn't see the war ending for King's Landing ending this quickly. I thought it was going to spill into episode 6 and then they were going to resolve it. But I am seeing that he could be more right. But what's funny is he was wrong about episode 4 and I was right about that. I called exactly what it was going to be. But I think he is right that episode 6 is going to be more, a little cleanup at the end and then maybe an epilogue, but we'll see. And these predictions, I mean, we all have them. You can read them everywhere online. And who knows who's going to be right? Like, there is no way of telling who's going to be right. Although the white horse, the pale horse of death. Okay, so I don't know if anyone really caught that. So the horse, death rides on a pale horse. And the white horse was waiting there for Arya. So I was thinking of that as being a gift from the Lord of Light. What do you say to the God of Death? Not today. And so I think that she will be the one to kill Dany and put Jon on the throne, and maybe he'll marry Sansa. Could happen, they're cousins. Less likely of an aunt and uncle, and that's what Dany was really freaked out about, because she didn't think Jon loved her because he wouldn't be all make babies with her and shit, because the Starks were not raised in an incestuous way the way her family was. And I think maybe if he would have explained that to her, she might have been a little bit less closed off and standish. She doesn't have anybody. Missandei is dead. She killed Varys. Tyrion learned who she really is. And that's another thing with Tyrion. Oh my fucking god, Tyrion. So when he first started working for Dany, he was done drinking. He didn't drink. And then, like, I think it was episode 4, or was it episode 3? I want to say it was 3. Varys says, "You've been drinking a lot again." And I literally liked that call out, because I was noticing that too, is that he was picking up his drinking. And I think it was because deep down he knew what Dany was, and he just had hope she wasn't. He wanted to believe in her. He put all his faith in her. He put all his trust in her. And he just didn't want to believe that she was like everyone else. And she was. She was actually worse than Cersei. Cersei was at least letting people live. She'd sacrifice them, but she wasn't blatantly just trying to murder them. She would just murder them if she had to. And he knew what she was. Varys knew what he was, because he always said he serves the realm. And that's the kind of people that should be in power, and unfortunately, across the world, those aren't necessarily the people in power, or the people who care about their realms, their constituents. And I feel like that's a human problem. That's just a human problem. And Varys is the one I respected. He might have been the spy, the keeper of secrets and whispers and all that shit. But he cared about the people. He cared about the people first and foremost. And he would manipulate the secrets to try to keep the people safe and out of harm's way. So I had a lot of respect for Varys on that one. But Tyrion really, he can't deny who she is anymore after what she did at King's Landing. And you see him walking away, and is he going to be there with her? Standing over everyone in episode 6. Who fucking knows? She may even have him killed. I am just geeked out. I'm excited. I know that they've been saying that this season has had the lowest ratings, period, for Game of Thrones seasons. And I see why. There are some things where I'm just like, seriously, ugh. Like, that was how I felt episode 4. Episode 4 is exactly what I thought it would be. And I was just really over it. I felt like in some instances the season should be longer, but in some instances I feel like they're dragging some things out. Like the Battle of Winterfell, to me, that was dragged out. It could have been shorter. Overall, not overly impressed, but going through it, as long as I've been watching this, you need that resolution. There's no turning back. This has been an epic story. And there's just no going back. You have to watch it. But now, like, another thing, I'm trying to talk back to what I opened the video with. People being surprised that Dany's a crazy person. And I think that if you watched Game of Thrones in a long, drawn-out manner as you watched it as it came on HBO, you may be surprised by that. The reason why I'm not surprised is because when Game of Thrones first came out, I didn't even look into it until it was already in its second season. And by that time, my ability to HBO content was unreliable at best. And so what I could watch, I was interested in. So I ended up just buying seasons 1 through 5, a box set. And then I bought season 6 when it came out on Blu-ray. And before season 7 aired, I binged the shit. I watched 6 seasons. Bam, 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 bam. Like, I don't remember how long it took, a month or so. I was just watching 2-3 episodes a night. I was popping those bitch bastards out. And I think watching it that close together, I was able to see the crazy in Dany. Like, because you could look at it as a whole. You could look at it as a season as a whole. Whereas if you let it go and you forget about Dany, you wait a week, and then you forget about season 1 or you forget about season 2. But busting those things out, and I'm going to say that's any binge watchers that watch this video, whoever binges seasons, we're a different breed from people who watch it as it airs, or who just watch a couple episodes here and there. I feel like a lot of times bingers sees things that the casual viewer won't. And I'm not saying that as a way to be better. I'm saying sometimes it takes away from the series, because I felt like doing that with some seasons, I disliked a couple. Like, I started disliking Big Bang Theory because I watched it so much back to back. I started seeing the flaws, where when I first started watching it, watch it here and there, so it was funny, ha ha ha. But then you start bamming those asteroids out, those bad boys out, and you start to see more flaws and more things. So it's not always good to binge it. I just feel like sometimes bingers see a little bit more because you're shoving that content down your throat multiple hours a day. So that's my thoughts. I'd like to hear yours. Let me know in the comments below. Let this be a conversation. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'd like to see your responses to it. Other than that, have a good night. See you next week.